Welcome back to the Test Kitchen, guys. Today we're cooking Campanelle with mushrooms and dino kale. I love all the nooks and crannies that this noodle creates. And when we think about texture and how to incorporate texture both from sauce and noodle itself, it's a great fit between mushrooms and Campanelle. I just love this noodle and I think it has great texture for this dish itself. So we're gonna make this sauce in the time it takes this Campanelle to cook. So first thing for our pasta water, as always, we wanna add a 1/4 cup of salt to 4 quarts at a rolling boil. From there, we're gonna drop our noodle, but we don't need to do a drop shot, or do you wanna do a drop shot later? Cool, okay. Do we do the salt thing again? Cool, just drop. This sauce starts with mushrooms. So here we just have a mixed medley. I just want to make sure that I'm removing the butt ends. I love using different mushrooms in this dish because it again builds on the different textures that they can provide. I want to break these down, these beautiful hen of the woods mushrooms, to the same size as the Campanelle as they cook. Mushroom cooking 101. It's really important to start with a really hot pan, some olive oil. When we add these mushrooms to the pan, you're gonna hear that light sizzle. It's really important to not move the mushrooms at first. The moisture content of these mushrooms is gonna be pulled out from them. We wanna make sure, again, just like searing a piece of meat, I wanna get some good caramelization on these mushrooms. That means don't touch them. Let the moisture come out, a slight little shake, and as those guys are searing, we can move on. I start with 1 shallot, and just do a nice slice on these guys. Like a lot of our recipes, we're gonna put a ton of garlic in this. So we got so we have our shallot and our garlic slice. I'm just gonna move them to the side for now. And then it's time to clean our dino kale. We want to remove the center stem, right? And so the easiest way to do that is just pinch the kale on either side and then pull away. Hey Ryan, you want to grab a spider, please? Hey Ryan? Yeah, would you mind just run down? You know what, Dan, I got it. Sorry, bud. So our mushrooms have started to achieve really great color here. At this point, I want to take the shallots, really simply kind of lay it on top of the mushrooms, all that garlic. At this point, I can salt. And that seasoning again will help pull out a little moisture from the garlic and the shallot. Give that a quick mix. I want that garlic and the shallot to have a lot of integrity in the recipe, so only 1 to 2 minutes of cooking time, because I really want the strong flavors to kind of punch through. As that's cooking, I can move to my kale. It seems like a lot of kale. All this is gonna wilt down into the sauce itself, so just a rough chop on it. Add my kale on top of that. Still, while the pan's on heat, I'm gonna deglaze with a little bit of white wine. Allow that to cook out. And we say to sec, almost till it's dry, right? So we want to cook out the alcohol, but the reduction of that white wine is going to help us with body in the finished sauce. I love to just add a couple of sprigs of thyme. Don't overthink it, it doesn't have to be chopped. You can just pull right from the stem. Just adds like this great herbaceous backdrop to the mushrooms. So as it's cooking and I'm starting to smell that thyme, I just want to add a touch of cream to this recipe. Right? And this is just, again, to give it a little bit of body. Some store-bought vegetable stock. And right before our pasta goes in, I want to add a fair amount of butter to it. That butter is going to emulsify with the reduced wine, the vegetable stock, and it's going to create this great viscosity of a sauce consistency to it. At this point, we can check in with the Campanelle. Feels great. Maybe a minute under, right, of what the box says. I'm gonna add that directly to the pan. At this point, the pasta's in. I just want to take a little bit of that salty, starchy pasta water, incorporate it into the sauce itself. And as that butter is starting to emulsify in, I'm just gonna give this a little stir. Sauce has been simmering, it's reducing down, it's starting to get a lot of viscosity. I can see if I push away, it coats the back of my spoon. Really, really important. So for the finishing touches, I wanna add a little bit of sherry vinegar, a little bit of salt, and we are ready to plate. So like most dishes at the restaurant, we're gonna finish this one with a fair shaving of Parmesan Reggiano. And there you go. Super simple, 15-minute Campanelle, mushrooms, dino, kale, easy dinner in 15 minutes.